Welcome to our tutorial for the Joy of Plants library plugin. Hello, I'm Terry Jones from Joy of Plants. In this tutorial, I will show you how to use the Joy of Plants library plugin to add plant images and text from our library to your WooCommerce webshop. First, we'll take a quick look at our demo webshop so you can see what images and text from our library look like in a WooCommerce webshop. Our demo is at the URL woocommercedemo2.joyofplants.com. Click View the Shop. Click All Plants. All our images are square, so when you use them, your index page will look neat and tidy. The image size is determined by your webshop theme settings. Clicking on a plant, we see the product page. We see the large image and then underneath it the plant description, both image and text supplied by Joy of Plants. The size of the plant image is set according to your theme settings. As I will show you later, the font and text style settings can be changed to match your webshop in our admin site, hub.joyofplants.com. As you will see, our images are not physically added to the WooCommerce media library, so you won't find them there. Instead, you will see a new image box containing our image in the product admin page. Similarly, our texts are not physically added to the product description. Instead, you will see a special code in the description that incorporates the text into your webshop from our library. The benefits of this approach for images and text are that you don't have to individually add images and text to products, and we ensure that the correct image and text is used for each plant. I will now show you how to add images and text for plants. We will use the set of test plants that Joy of Plants supplies for this tutorial. I suggest that the first time you practice adding images and text in your webshop, that you also use the test plants we supply. Then you won't be practicing using real products, and you can easily delete the test plants after your practice session. After a couple of minutes practice, I'm sure you'll be confident in adding our images and text to your webshop. To add images and texts, you will need Chrome as the browser on your PC, your WordPress admin URL and login details, your WooCommerce plugin installed in your WordPress admin site, the Joy of Plants library plugin installed in your WordPress admin site, your hub.joyofplants.com login details, the username and password, and the test plants file from Joy of Plants. First, you need to be logged into your WordPress admin page and also logged into hub.joyofplants.com using the manager login, not the staff login, as you will be changing preference settings the first time. In summary, the process will be like this. In WooCommerce admin, import plants from the test file that Joy of Plants supply using the WooCommerce product import function. Then use the Joy of Plants export option to export those plants as a CSV file with just the fields we need for our process. Then in hub.joyofplants.com, set preferences for the images and text to add to your webshop. You only need to do this once, the first time you follow the process. Then match the plant names in the exported list to those in our library and check the match is made. Then generate the to WooCommerce import file and download it. Then finally, in WooCommerce admin, use the Joy of Plants import option to import the to WooCommerce file. This adds the images and text to the product pages. Finally, check the test plant pages in the WooCommerce admin page and the live webshop. We'll now go to our browser and follow this process. In our browser, we have two tabs open, our WordPress admin and hub.joyofplants.com. First, we'll work in our WordPress admin site to import the test plants. Click Products. You will see all the products you currently have in the database. Click Import at the top. Click Choose File and find the file with the test plants supplied by Joy of Plants. The file is called JoP_WooCommerce_testplants.csv. Click Continue to import the plants. Then you'll see the Map CSV fields to Products page. We just scroll through and check that the fields on the left in the import file map to the correct product field on the right-hand side. They should map correctly. If they don't, you can click the drop-down and look for the right field to map to. Then click Run the Importer. This might take a few moments. When it's finished, click View Products to go to the products list. We can see our new test products at the top of the list. They have Test as the category. Click Edit on one of the test plants to open the admin page. Scroll down to the Joy of Plants tab and click on it. You see a field for plant ID and checkboxes for display image and display text. This is where the Joy of Plants info will be stored after we import it. Click All Products to go back to the product list. Scroll down. Click Joy of Plants Export. Click on the Export All Categories box. Scroll down and choose our test category, so we only export the test plants. Leave Export All Products set as it is. Click Generate CSV. Save the file in the same place as the test file we gave you, so then you'll keep all your tutorial files in one place. Open the file in Excel. We need to find out which column the plant names are in. We note down plant names are in column D and the names start at row 2. Now we'll go to hub.joyofplants.com for the next stage of the process. We have logged into hub.joyofplants.com using our manager login. You can see the username you are logged in as under the Logout option on the top menu. Click Settings on the top menu. Then choose Image and Text Library in the left-hand menu. We then see the Image and Text Library Settings page. By the way, if you ever need it, you can download the user guide from here. In the Website Online Shop section, you'll see all the settings for your webshop that Joy of Plants set up when we created your account. You can't change these here. Scroll down and we'll check the Product Content to Add to Import File section. We'll come back to the other sections for preferences for the text later. The first setting for Add Link to Joy of Plants Plant Finder pages, we will keep off. You will select this setting if you also have a plant finder that you want to link to your webshop. The second setting for Add JoP No as a code is a special advanced setting we won't need either. The next two sections of radio buttons control what you'll add for any plants where we don't have your variety in the library, but we do have a species or genus. For species-only matches, we recommend you use our text for the species, but not our image. That's because the text for a species entry will give a good enough description of the plant, but the image may not be an accurate reflection of the plant. For genus-only matches, we recommend you add nothing and use your own content. That's because plants within a genus can vary a huge amount in their attributes and what they look like. Save changes. Now we will go to the Hub homepage. In In the Hub homepage, we have buttons for all our services. The available ones are blue. Click E-commerce Image and Text Library. The Image and Text Library page explains how we support WooCommerce and the steps to take to add images and texts. We have already completed the first step in WooCommerce. Click the link for Plant Name List Matcher. This opens a new tab in our browser for uploading our file with the plant names to be matched. Upload plant list. Click Find File and find the export file. Then click Upload File. Choose the column that contains the plant names, column D, and the row where plant names start, in this case row 2. Choose whether to match genus or species or not for any plants that don't get a direct variety level match. We will choose Yes. Click Match Plant List. It may take a few moments to do the match. Click Download File. Save the download file in the same folder as your export file. For downloads, we give you a zip file to compress and deliver the file. Double-click on the file to open the zip and extract the matched plant list. Now we'll open the matched file in Excel to check the match is made. You may need to click an Enable Editing button at the top. You may also need to resize column widths. We can see that all the test plants are matched to a Joy of Plants name and a JoP PID number, so we don't need to do anything here to make corrections. We'll use Save As to save the file with a different name so we know we've checked it. When you export your own plants from WooCommerce, our tool may not match some plants at all and may find more than one match for other plants. But don't worry, there are techniques for handling these situations. Before you export your own plants, please watch our short video, number 5, tutorial for Use Plant Name List Matcher to match plant lists, for more details about how to check matched plant lists. Now we'll go back to our browser to upload the matched file and generate our WooCommerce file. Go back to our first hub.joyofplants.com tab. Click Upload Matched Plant List. Click Find File and find our matched file. Click Upload File. The column titles are in row 1 and PID codes start at row 2, so we can just click Next. It may take a few moments to generate the image library zip file that will contain our WooCommerce file. Click Download File and save the zip file in the same folder, then find the file in File Manager. In File Manager, right-click the image library zip file and extract all the files. We only need the WooCommerce.csv file for now, but it's easier to extract all the files at the same time. If you plan to add our Plant Finder to your site as well, you should keep the 2 Plant Finder files, as you will need to use those later to link the Plant Finder to your webshop. Now we'll go back to WordPress admin to import our WooCommerce file. Now we will import the file WooCommerce.csv. This import adds the images and text for the test plants. Go to the Joy of Plants menu and click Import. Click Choose File and find our WooCommerce.csv file. Click the checkbox to create new categories. Joy of Plants supply categories based on plant type as part of the import, and you can use them to help set up your categories of plants in your webshop. Click Continue. The import may take a few moments. Click View Products when it has finished. We can now see thumbnail images next to our test plants. And the categories are updated. Click on Edit on our first test plant to see the changes to the product admin page. We can see the text, Joy of Plants text, in the description, we can see the Joy of Plants image box has also been added. And clicking on the Joy of Plants tab, we can see the fields for Joy of Plants info now have content. All the Joy of Plants info is saved in new meta fields that are added to the WooCommerce database. And if we click on the Preview Changes button, we can see what the content looks like on the product page in the webshop. We see the large image, it has a discrete watermark for Joy of Plants. We see that the plant is in a number of categories, and we can see the Joy of Plants text as the description. There's all the details about the plant, including hardiness at the bottom. We'll now go back to hub.joyofplants.com and see how to change the content and appearance of the Joy of Plants text. You'll only need to do this once, the first time you do an import, to customise the text to suit your webshop. Click Hub in the top menu. Click Settings in the top menu, then Image and Text Library in the left-hand menu. Scroll down to the Text Content and Style area. Joy of Plants will have set the text content and style and custom typography settings for you when we set up your account, but it's useful for you to know how to change these things in case you update the style for your webshop. You might like to make note of the existing settings before changing them, if you want to play around with the settings. The content is currently set to online text. We will change this to online text with names so you can see what this does. The text style is set to Classic Hardiness. We will change this to RHS Hardiness so you can see what this does. You can also make changes to other aspects of the text style. For example, you can change the font. Now scroll down and click Save. We'll go back to our WooCommerce tab and click Refresh to see the results of the changes. You can now see the plant names in the text. And the hardiness format has changed. Finally, we'll go to our live webshop and look at the test plants there. Click Shop and select the category Test. We can see all our test products in the results. We can open our products and they have the Joy of Plants image and description. So we have successfully added images and text for the test plants. You can follow exactly the same process to add images and text for other plant products in your WooCommerce webshop. Use the Joy of Plants export option to export a category of plants to a file, and away you go, as before. The Joy of Plants overview page in your WordPress admin contains details of the process to follow to add images and text should you need a reminder of how to do it. After using the test plants to practice, you can remove them from the WooCommerce product list by filtering on the category called Test, selecting them all, and then using the trash option to delete them. Before we finish, I'll cover some frequently asked questions. Can I use my own images and text as well as Joy of Plants ones? Yes, just add your images as normal to the product admin page as the product image or to the product gallery. When you do this, the Joy of Plants image will appear with other images in the product gallery. Add your text above or below the Joy of Plants text code in the product description. It's best to use the visual editor when you do this to know exactly how text will be positioned. Can I add links to the plant finder to my webshop pages? Yes, you can do this if you also have a premium plant finder license. Contact Joy of Plants to add this to your account. See our video number 11, the tutorial Add Joy of Plants Plant Finder to WooCommerce or WordPress for more details. Can I use the images and text outside my webshop? Your license with Joy of Plants allows use within your webshop via the plugin, not for any other purpose. See joyofplants.com for other services we offer. And finally, troubleshooting problems. The Joy of Plants images aren't appearing for the plants. Use the Joy of Plants API settings option and check that you have a connection is successful message. If not, then you need to check that you've copied and pasted the credentials correctly from Notepad, no extra spaces or characters. Contact support at joyofplants.com if you need more help. The Joy of Plants texts aren't appearing for the plants. In hub.joyofplants.com, check the settings for image and text library settings. Make sure that the text colour isn't set to white and that the line height is larger than the custom font size. Contact support at joyofplants.com if you need more help. You've reached the end of this video now. Thanks for watching. Watch the next tutorial in our series, video number 11, to find out how to add the plant finder to your webshop and link it to your webshop pages. Or subscribe to our YouTube channel for all our videos.